I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? Since your pretty ass told me she came in the door, I just wanna chill, got a sack for us to roll. Married to the money, introduced it to my soul. Showed her how to win.
What's up, Messy Mob? Thank you so much for tuning into this video. So today I'm going to be recapping Are You the One? Episode 4. Episode 5 will be coming up very soon, so tune in. I'm not going to waste your time anymore, so let's go ahead and get into it.
I'm sorry, I was trying to be nice, but that bitch, you look a mess.
So the episode does start off with a party scene. So everyone is partying and vibing. I really love when they do this. While everyone is vibing and partying, you see Judith and Nathaniel in the pool, booed up. They are so cute and all over each other. And then Ruth expresses that it's to the point with Nathaniel where she doesn't want him to take his hands off of her. She is just that infatuated with him at the moment. Also, Nathaniel expresses that he does feel like Ruth is his match because he didn't pick her in the first matchup ceremony and there was a blackout. But when he did choose her, there was a beam. I will not take away from the fact that they're cute. They are very cute together, but I just want to know what's there besides them touching each other. Like, what connection do y'all have beside the sexual connection? Because the sexual and physical attraction is clearly there, but, you know, I still have yet to see them really connect on an emotional level. Like Anissa and Akel, they have an emotional connection, but I don't see that yet with Judith, Ruth, and Nathaniel. So the next scene does cut to Hamudi and Maicha flirting as well. I'm still getting used to them. I'm not saying that they're not cute together, but I'm not used to seeing them together. So I'm still trying to get used to them. Hopefully they're each other's match. I know that they like each other from what I see. They seem like they like each other. It's just a little bit awkward to me, their vibe. I'm just not used to seeing them yet. So anyways, it really wasn't a scene. It was more like the camera quickly cutting to them. But the camera did quickly cut to Leo and Courtney flirting a little bit by the bar. I'm not sure if it was more of a friendly thing or if they really were flirting. Yeah. Because I know that Leo did like Brooke. So we're gonna see later on if they really are a thing or if that was just all friendly. So Taylor is up in the morning and bothered. She pulls Dew and Eduardo aside and basically talks to them about the housemates talking that shit and how she does not appreciate it. She tells them that whenever she has something to say, that she says it to everyone's face, and she basically doesn't understand why everyone can't just give her the same respect and say it to her face as well. Which I really do agree, but when she is explaining this to Dew and Eduardo, she is making a scene because when she's talking about it, she's a little bit hyped up, I won't lie. And it's in the morning, so it's already quiet, so she's the only one really being loud. So since she is being a little loud, Cece and Danielle are literally across the pool laughing at her, mocking her a little bit, and they end up basically calling her out and saying, Taylor, like, you know what I'm saying? They were basically telling her to shut the hell up in a nice way. And Taylor's already hyped, so Taylor goes ahead and walks across the pool to where they are. While she's walking over there and she ends up getting there, Danielle is basically like, girl, don't come over here with that bullshit and mess. It's way too early for it. And my dog Taylor is like, well, girl, I'm going to say what I'm finna say, and that's just finna be that. So Taylor says that she is who she is, either take it or leave it. Even though I'm a little bit more on Taylor's side, I understand both sides because I get Danielle's side because it's just like, girl, shut the fuck up. Don't nobody want to hear that shit early in the morning. All that bitching and moaning and complaining. We don't want to hear that shit. We just woke up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a positive house. Let it be positive vibes. You're talking about people talking shit early in the morning. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Keep it to yourself. But I understand Taylor's side because it's really just like, bitch, if I'm venting, let me vent. I'm not venting to you, so why do you care? If I'm too loud for you, go somewhere else. So I get both sides. But I'm a little bit more on Taylor's side because Danielle really didn't even have to say anything. She really could have just let that girl vent to her friends and get what she needed to get off of her chest. Because I can tell that Taylor's this type of person because I'm also this type of person. If I feel some type of way and I just keep it inside and let it build up, it's going to eat me alive. So I have to get it off my chest in that moment. And Taylor's the exact same way. But yeah, so that's why I sided with Taylor just a little bit more. But I understand both sides. Because me personally, if I was Taylor, I would have told Danielle to just take her ass in the house if she didn't want to hear what I had to say. Or she could have just kept talking to Cece and minded her own business. So Cammy does gather them together to announce the new challenge of the day, and the girls will be participating in this challenge. Is it just me, or does Cammy seem like really dry on this show? You know what? Because I'm so used to her like being so outspoken and stuff on Catfish, but it's like on this show she does not have a personality like that to me. I feel like it's just repetitive. Like she comes, she goes, she says the same shit. It's just super repetitive. Like, where is Terrence J when you need him? MTV, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's all I gotta say. And also, one more complaint. Okay. So I usually come on here, and when I do these recaps, I praise the show because I really love Are You the One? I have since the very first season. But the challenges in this season are so like boring and repetitive, and there's just like the same shit. Like I don't get it. Like, these are not real challenges. These are really things that they should already be trying to get to know about each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are not real challenges at all, and they seem kind of lazy. It definitely doesn't take away from the cast members or how good the show is done and put together. I really do like the show, but these challenges to me are just not it. I miss back in the day with Are You the One, where they used to have challenges that literally used to have us on the edge of our seat. It's really not like that anymore. Like, they come and go with the challenges now. Like, the challenges are literally like 2 minutes, and then they go back and meet again to say who won. But this challenge was about pretty much the same thing that the other challenges were about. So their family members put them on blast, and the girls had to guess which family member said what about who, depending on how well they know that person. Again, this is literally the same challenge, but like in a different form. So the girls understand the assignment, they complete the assignment, and they come back to meet so they can discuss the winner, and Cammy does announce that Taylor is the winner. Not only that, she does mention that 4 out of 11 girls got no answers right. So to me, this just goes to show why they don't get as many beams, or why whenever they put somebody in the truth booth, they are not a match. Because when they're talking, they're clearly not paying attention to what they're talking about, because the questions that were being asked in the challenge is something that you would ask somebody when you first start to get to know them. Like, how do you feel about your ex? How do you feel about marriage? How do you feel about having kids? What's your career? It was like remedial questions like that. So the fact that 4 women didn't get the questions right, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just goes to show that you really aren't doing what you're supposed to do. So the prize for the winner is a 2-on-1 date. Of course, Taylor won, so she chooses Ollie and Will. So after Taylor does pick her 2 dates, Cammy does announce to the cast that she is going to throw them a heaven and hell party for all their hard work and dedication to the challenge. When the party did come around, I really started to realize that this is one of the most good-looking casts ever. Everybody looked so good. Like, everybody looks good. Like, this is a really good-looking cast. I was like, okay. They definitely did kill it at the little party. So at the party, everyone is partying, and the couples are coupling. Especially Hamoudi and Maicha. They are so cute together. So I know earlier I said that I just didn't see it with them, but at the party they were vibing and they were so cute together. So while everyone is partying, Judith Ruth stirs the pot a little bit with Nathaniel. You already know a party isn't a party without a little bit of drama, and Judith Ruth definitely brought that. So before she does pull Nathaniel aside, she does express that basically the party is going on and he's not checking on her, he's not talking to her. And I'm just like, girl, like, there's nothing wrong with being clingy, but it's just like, y'all are at a party, he has friends, he is allowed to mingle. Like, it's just, that's like a red flag to me. Like, you're super possessive already. Like, you're getting mad for what? She was mad for nothing. Nathaniel is a grown-ass man, and I believe that he did not have to be glued to her hip the whole entire party, and I feel like that's what she wanted, and he wasn't giving it to her, so she was very upset about it and was willing to ruin his good time to express that to him. Which, by the way, it definitely could have waited. Like, this conversation that they had definitely could have waited. I don't understand why she would do it in the middle, like literally in the middle of the party. Not at the end of the party, not before the party, but she waited until the middle of the party to pull him aside and tell him how she feels. So once she does pull him to the side, she expresses to him that she does want him to make more of an effort. So again, I don't understand why she's bringing this up at the party. I just feel like y'all were together in the pool earlier that morning. Why didn't you say anything then? Because when y'all were together at the pool, you were all over him. But now at a party, when you have a little bit of liquor in your system, now you really want to say how you feel and try to ruin his night. So I didn't really care for this scene that much. When this scene was going on, it really just looked like a mother chewing out her kid, because Nathaniel looked like a fucking lost puppy. He looked so sad and just ready to get back to the party and have fun. So the next morning, Leo and Brooke are laid up together, and again, I don't understand why, because it's just like y'all are wasting y'all time and everyone else's time, because y'all know damn well that you guys are not each other's matches, but you guys continue to be selfish anyway. So I really don't have much to speak on when it comes to this situation. So Taylor and Courtney are also laid up in bed, and Courtney is being a little instigator, and she is telling Taylor that people in the house are saying that she is arrogant. And y'all already know, earlier that morning, Taylor was expressing to a couple people that she doesn't like when people talk shit. So you already know Miss Taylor is riled up and she is ready to call a house meeting. Which I get it, because I'm not about to be kikiing in everyone's face and y'all behind my back talking shit, calling me arrogant and stuff. So let's go ahead and nip it in the bud and call a house meeting. I definitely understood where she was coming from, because I want to see who's real enough to say it to my face, because it's one thing to say that I'm arrogant behind my back, but who's really going to say it to my face? Yeah. So I definitely understand Taylor. So keep in mind that it is early in the morning, so when the housemates do realize that Taylor wants to call a house meeting, they're just basically like, it's too early for this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which I understand to an extent, but you know what I'm saying? Taylor is the type of person that she has to get something off her chest in that moment. She's not about to wait. Long story short, during the meeting, Taylor started to cry because they actually bossed up on her and did tell her to her face that after the challenge, she was talking shit about the other girls, saying that they should have known those questions, and how could they not know those questions? I knew all of them. It was easy for me. You guys aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing if you don't even know the questions. And yeah, so they were basically calling her out on her shit and saying that she was arrogant for making those comments. And Taylor completely flipped the script. I'm thinking that Taylor's going to go in there and check somebody. Taylor didn't check shit. Taylor started breaking down crying as soon as they told her about herself. Taylor is an emotional gangster, and you know what I'm saying? I don't fault her for that. I don't. But girl, don't be talking all that shit like you just finna check you. Like you finna check somebody, and then as soon as they tell you to your face what you wanted them to tell you to your face, you start crying. I didn't understand that part. Anyway, so it's time for Taylor, Will, and Ollie's date. So they go parasailing, and after they go parasailing, which looked really fun, by the way, and I can tell that they had a good time and it wasn't awkward, which I thought it would be because it's two guys and one girl. So, but it wasn't awkward. It was nice. So anyways, after they parasail, they do their little one-on-ones, and Ollie and Taylor do go first. The date was good at first, but then of course Taylor started asking questions, And Taylor basically asks Ollie, how sensitive are you and how do you respond to a sensitive girl? Ollie tells her straight up that he is not sensitive, nor does he take sensitivity very well. Taylor says that she does not want to be with somebody who falls back when it comes to being sensitive, expressing their feelings, or opening up to her. So that's how that date went. And then Will came in so she could do her one-on-one time with Will. And their one-on-one was very cute. I can tell that their conversation really does come natural. It isn't awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like, they find stuff to talk about. It isn't forced. Because I feel like since the housemates basically just met each other, they haven't even known each other for they really haven't even known each other for a month yet. So I feel like for Taylor and Will to have such a good vibe about each other and for their conversation to just come so natural, I love that for them, and I think that they will make a really good couple. So after the date, Will, Ollie, and Taylor do go back to the house and they recap their dates a little bit with the housemates. And then Cammy does come in to announce that it is time for the couple to go into the truth booth. So the voted couple was Taylor and Will, which I agree. So Taylor and Will basically mentally prepare themselves. They walk down to the truth booth together. They get in the truth booth. It's suspenseful. Everyone's waiting to see what the results are going to be. And they ended up to be not a match. Since Will and Taylor did vibe very good, the housemates were completely caught off guard and shocked by the results. Once Will and Taylor do make it back to the house, the housemates do console them and they're there for them, and they basically tell them like, it's okay, you're going to find your match, this, that, and the third. And they also mention that they need to put Anissa and Akel in the truth booth. I'm not going to lie, if I was in this house, it would really mess with me mentally, because if I get to know somebody and I genuinely like them, and then whole time that we're getting to know each other and we're giving each other our all, we're getting to know each other, we're starting to fall in love, and then we go in the truth booth and we find out that we're not even a match. Do you know how discouraged I would be? Like, I'm telling you, I am not built for some shit like that. Like, I am not built to be on a show like this. Like, I feel like it's very triggering. I would be so triggered if I was on this show. And then after you find out that you're not a match with the person that you've been kicking it with for a minute, you have to go and you have to start over with someone else. Like, and I get it. It's $1 million at stake. Well, in their case, $750,000, but still, it's a lot of money at stake. So I get why they keep pushing, but I don't know. This would be just very mentally draining if I was there. So after the first episode, Judith, Ruth, and Brennan did agree that they weren't good for each other. They reminded each other too much of their exes, and they just knew that it wasn't going to work. But after the truth booth situation, they were seen on the bed speaking to each other, flirting a little bit, and basically talking about whether they would work or not. To me, I don't even know why they would honestly revisit this conversation. It's just a little bit draining because you guys already realized that you guys weren't the one for each other, and now you guys are in each other's faces after Brendan slept with Cece and after Judith Ruth was literally just on Nathaniel the morning before. So this is my thing. So this is what I don't like about couples, and I feel like this is a really big red flag with Judith Ruth, even though I really like her. So this is my thing. So you're telling me the very first time that Nathaniel pisses you off, you're back to your old fling? That's all I gotta say. And maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it just seems very convenient that as soon as Nathaniel pisses her off, she's back on Brendan. And Brendan is just really there for it. To each its own. To each its own. Anyways, they start getting ready for the matchup ceremony. They walk down, and it is the guy's choice this time. The guys pick all of their choices, and Du and Nathaniel ended up with each other by default. I thought that this was really funny, I'm not gonna lie, because Nathaniel looked so pissed off, and Du honestly just looked happy to be there. So the results ended up being 4 beams. So they got 4 matches correct. So they're moving forward. They're making progress, because if you guys don't remember, the week before they did get 2 beams, and then the week before that they got 0. So they're definitely, making progress. I'm proud of them. And hopefully next week is better. And I'm about to watch the next episode right now. And then right after that, I'm going to record another recap, and I'm going to post it as soon as I'm done. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn that post notification bell on so y'all know every time we post a Are You the One recap.
Everybody